Hi, this is John Marshall, the DrillMaster, here with another color guard critique. This time it's Creekview male color guard, brought to you by Training for Military Drill Teams, Color Guards, and Judges. My book that is all of my articles from, let's see, what does it say here? 2011 to January 2017. So everything that I've written that's been posted on my website is organized in this book. So that doesn't mean that you have to get it. That just means that it's a little more organized for you if you want it. Now, before we start, let's take a look at this. Look at those elbows, guards. Holy cow, why are you lifting your elbows out? Elbows should be tucked. And then also, we notice here, these are the wrong staffs to have. Light ash wood guide-on staffs, not the brown staffs. And these middle screw joints are garbage anyway. Can't stand them. They come apart easily. So also, you've got the harnesses with the plastic cup there, and which I don't like them all that much, but that's just my personal preference. So anyway, but they suffice, and they're just fine. So I'm wondering if you're going to look, the color bearers, if you're going to look down when you're bringing the staff up, because you're reaching over with your left hand here to grasp the staff even before you have it a foot off the ground. So this is and this is all the way at the beginning, so I can't see when you are at attention, but you'll go to parade rest and attention later on during the sequence, so I'll see if I can pay attention to that then. All right, let's hit it. Oh no, oh no. What on earth was that? Okay, so not my preference, definitely, but see, the way I've been taught and have executed this for hundreds of times over the years, literally hundreds of times, one smooth motion up into the center. You've broken it down to coming to the center. Now I understand why so that you can lift the staff up with the left, let it slide through to the right. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan at all. Although I really, in reality, the training circular doesn't give you any guidance on that. It just says get it in there, get the staff into the harness socket, and you're good to go. So just to let you know, it's not my cup of tea at all. All right, guards, drop those. Oh, your elbow. You guys love your elbows. All right, this is not right shoulder. This is a salute. There. When you go to right shoulder and you have your hand like this with your elbow sticking out like this is a salute. This is when the Army doesn't use it anymore. The Air Force also used to use it, but did away with it long time ago. This is a salute. This dropped elbow, this is right shoulder. That's proper technique for right shoulder. You got to drop those elbows. That I can be picky on. Looked like good grips. Too fast on the wheel. Spacing is inconsistent. See how you have a how you have a different tempo when you're marching? Why did you bring your arm down to slap the rifle? There's no need to do that. Now, I can be picky on the elbow, and I can also be picky on the the sling arms technique here. That's not the technique. Bringing your right arm all the way down and then slapping the rifle. That's nothing more than a little bit of a tiny exhibition move, and you shouldn't do that. Period. There's no explanation for it. You just shouldn't do it. So you place the rifle on the hip, and you both have done that. Excellent placement, by the way. And look at this alignment here. So right rifle guard, you are ahead of the whole team, which tells me that the rest of the team is either taking a smaller end step before that, the step close, that step, and then the close, that last step forward that you're taking, we can call that the end step. It either means that the rest of the team is taking a smaller step and you're taking a normal 30-inch step, or you're taking a bigger step, and the team is then the other three are taking that 30-inch step. So work it out amongst yourselves, but you need to make sure that end step is the same for all four of you. Post is a facing movement and then step off. All right, you've got to use guide-on technique. So you don't have guide-on staffs, but you still have to use guide-on technique. So what you're doing here, color bearers, is not proper Army technique here. You need to bring the staff out and bring your left hand up. And some color guards will actually uncase, on the command, they'll switch their hands and then bring the staff over like this. You have to have your left arm over your head, because if you look in the training circular, look at that raised guide-on position. That's raised guide-on. So you and I think the hand switch is not necessary, because you can bring the staff out and then bring your left hand up and over. Well, if you're like this, you have the left hand at the harness socket. You can bring that staff out and then reach up, and it would be just like you have the guide-on, just like you're going to raised guide-on. You're lifting the guide-on and bringing that hand up at the same time, and then you're going to bring the staff down, and as you bring it down, I suggest that you slide it in. You have that nice that considerable length behind you, which is fine. That moves the weight closer to you of the flag, and you're then able to bear that weight a little better, rather than having that way out there. Plus, with those really crummy, not screwy screw joints, but the really crummy middle screw joints on the staffs, I would definitely say pull them in closer. So that's not bad, but pull it in closer, but your left hand needs to be in front of your right, because that is the proper guide-on technique. So flags should match angles. That wasn't too bad at all, but you can see a slight head drop there of the state flag bearer, and instead of the state flag, you really should have the Army JROTC flag. Look at that little head drop. So you're looking down because both of your hands are on the staff. If you have both your hands on the staff, you've got to look down, because you'll forever be fishing for that harness socket. So what I recommend, instead of doing all this stuff and then slamming that flag staff into, and also look at the positions here. Both of the flags really need to be angled forward, just slightly. Also, both of the flags need yellow fringe. It's a requirement. Army Reg 840-10. Fringe is required for all flags. You've got the wrong staffs, you've got the wrong finials as well. It needs to be the silver flat Army spearhead. It's also called the spade. You have to have that, and also the guide-on staffs with the upper and lower silver ferrule. So let's go back and talk about the guards here. So they're there we go. So they've folded their cases. That's fine. They come now. Look at the eyes here. Don't look. You look straight ahead. Look straight ahead and catch everything out of your peripheral vision here. But you're holding the cases incorrectly. You shouldn't be holding the case there like this. You shouldn't be holding it like that. You should be holding it like this, so that when you come across, you'll be able to grab. And you probably could with your thumb, grab that, grab the sling, the rifle sling, to go to present at sling arms. But the is it the TC? I'm pretty sure it's the TC shows that that you carry the sling like a book, like my book that I'm doing here, just like that. You carry it just like that. All right, so you need to modify that technique. The technique that you used, color bearers to unfurl, not bad. Don't necessarily need to go up that much of an angle. You have plenty of room down here. Really, what's supposed to happen is the staff is supposed to remain horizontal, and you unfurl completely until you have a flat spade. And then once you have that spade flat, then you bring the staff up and place it in the harness socket. Good salute. Good command voice as well there, Commander. Similar technique. Good job, guards. But it was similar, synchronized technique until, was it left guard, until you brought your arm up for sling. Once you're finished doing whatever, both of you go to a hand position, and I prefer this kind of hand position, centered right there on the belt, right at the case. As soon as you're finished, go to that hand position, and then what you can do is, can you see that? Yeah, you can. All right. What you can do is tap, tap, and then come up. You're at sling, and grab that sling properly, and get everything taken care of. But these little tiny movements that are not synchronized and not similar back and forth, then that's going to play big on your scoring. Please don't slap anymore. Also, don't slap the butt either. So you came from here, brought it to port, and then you brought your hand down and then smacked that butt to bring it up to right shoulder. You're not supposed to do that. That's not making it sharp. That's making it showy. And colors is not showy. Colors is never showy. Colors is all about paying complete and utter respect to the American flag. And since you have the state flag there, or actually any other flag, even the A.J. ROTC flag, you really need to be as respectful as possible, and that means following the training circular and the Army reg. So coming out to present, guards, you're throwing that rifle out in front of you. It's only supposed to come 4 inches from your chest. Look at that, way out there. That's got to be 6, maybe 8. And that the right rifle guard, that looks like 10, practically. When you bring the rifle to present, you go to the port position first, not port arms. Well, yeah, you do actually. You slide that right up, so you're eventually at port arms, but you bring it first to the port position, which means your left hand is supposed to be where it's supposed to be, with the pinky at the top of the upper receiver. Your right hand then is on the butt of the rifle, but you bring the rifle to the port position so that it's positioned on your body at port, but you're not at port arms yet. When you slide that right hand up to the small of the stock, then you're at port arms. But you're going to then manipulate the rifle to present, but it should be 4 inches away from your body, and 4 inches for the average male is from knuckle to knuckle on your fist there. So you can place that fist right there on the breastbone, and get that measurement. Now you have you have muscle and visual memory here, so you're going to have to change that. You're going to have to work hard at changing that, and it's going to be a little bit difficult for you, at least at first, and then you'll be able to change it, no problem. Wrapped hands, wrapped thumbs, great. All right, why did you go back, state flag bearer, on order? Unless you're actually going down. I don't know why this command is order, why it's not carry. That bothers me. So you're going to order. The command is order, but everybody's going back to right shoulder and the carry position. So there's absolutely no need whatsoever to bring the staff back at the command, at the preparatory command. And again, both of the flags need to have a slight angle forward. Now, what's slight? Slight is whatever you choose it to be, honestly. So if you're going to bring that flag out, and the flag staff out an inch or 4, as long as both of the flags are matching, fine. So if you're going to match the flag to your right, so state, or really you should be JROTC flag bearer, you're going to match the American flag. If you had another flag next to you, then that flag bearer, that color bearer, would then match the angle of the color bearer staff to his or her right. So you always match to the right for angles. All right, you're speeding up, so it's making it difficult to execute the colors reverse, but also that's not the proper colors reverse execution. Colors reverse actually, it doesn't have any flanks in it whatsoever. It has face as in marching. I call it a face in march for short. So you have to execute the face as in marching, which means that you're always going to kick out the left foot. Whether it's to the left or to the right, you're always going to pivot on the right toe, whether it's going to the left or to the right. Really strange, but that's what the training circular says, that you execute that face in march at the colors reverse section. Then you flip back to the beginning of the training circular, look at face in march, and holy cow, yeah, okay, well, that's how you're supposed to do it. Whereas the counter march for the Marine Corps, Navy, and Coast Guard, that's a lot simpler. It's like this. So, but you really need to use a metronome on this cadence here. So you need to get a phone, download loud metronome. That's what I use. I like it because if you hook it up to a Bluetooth speaker, it's nice and loud. So especially for a drill team. For colors, it's not too bad. Just keeping that. Just the phone in your pocket. So you turn your phone all the way up, set it to 120 at a 2/4 tempo, and then or you can have it at 4/4, and then if you want to have a higher tone for counts 1 and 3, that's fine. That's going to always be on the left step then. And I have a video. I'll link to this at the end of this critique, but it's going to be very helpful for you to maintain that cadence all the way through. All right, here we go. Good entrance into the left wheel with that extra right step there. So you're going to have to completely change your execution on the colors reverse. Judge, don't walk in front of the team or the camera. Oh, nice. Thank you. Now that's not proper execution. I'm going to go back, but that's definitely not proper order execution there for the color bearers. Yeah, that's not it at all. Okay, so order means that you're going to bring the staff out, and then I know there are lots of color guards that will bring the staff up and over and around and all kinds of weird stuff, and then finally bring it down. But your right hand needs to bring the staff all the way down. You need to have your right arm fully extended and your fingers extended and joined, your thumb in that U or V grip, and that's how you need to hold the staff. When you go to parade rest, only when you go to parade rest, you should be doing this. And I'm so glad you're keeping the staffs vertical. That's perfect. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. So kudos on that. That's really good. But you're not supposed to hold the staff like this at order. So you need to bring your hand all the way down the staff, fingers extended and joined, and then parade, bring that hand up, rest, but the staff doesn't move. And if you notice, that's a guide-on technique, because you would execute parade, rest, boom, and you push that guide-on staff out. We don't do that. A lot of guide-on staff techniques are used in color guard, but we just don't fully complete them, or we don't use the certain aspects of the technique because we have flags and not the guide-on. All right, so I'm going to go back and look at the rifles. All right, and slamming the staffs, that's not appropriate either. So good order with the order technique for the guards. But as you said, forward. Let me see what was going on there. Okay. I just thought I saw something. So how far off the ground, the marching surface, should you be lifting your feet? 2 inches. That's not 2 inches. That's 1, but 2 inches for the toe. That's how far your feet should come up. So you've got a big height difference there that you need to get under control. Oh, also, let me mention this. The training circular has drawings, unfortunately. So, and in the drawing, it looks like the thumb is in front, and I call that the utterly useless grip, because it doesn't afford you to do anything with that hand. But it appears that the thumb is in front, and I don't like it. I prefer the thumb behind grip because it's actually a useful grip. But if we're going to follow the TC completely, then I suggest the thumb behind grip, but it really does seem to be the thumb, having the thumb in front. Maybe one day that'll be changed, but until then, so all the fingers need to be together. Excellent fingers here for the grip without that thumb in front, though. But bring the thumb in front and then all fingers together on that harness socket. So not bad on the guards remaining in place for your wheel movements. So you need to not move on state flag bearer. You need to not move on those preparatory commands. Also, flags need to be 3 by 4 feet. Looks like you have 3 by 5. So, and again, so you have that that visual and muscle memory there. Right shoulder, rifle guard, you're ahead of the rest of the team. Left hands are a little high, guards. Face out, but you didn't. So, got to execute that facing movement. Great salute technique, both of the guards. Very nice. All right, so instead of, boy, stop popping the flag, please. Please stop popping the flag. All right, that's just, it's completely unnecessary. So really what should have happened here is the staff is brought down to as close to horizontal as possible, so that it's obviously not. Now, these are probably a couple of shorter stature color bearers, not as tall as the length of the flag. Sorry about hitting the microphone. I'm got my hands going everywhere. So what you really should have done is brought both of the staffs down so that the flags are hanging well away from the ground, maybe a foot or so. But then guards, what you're supposed to be doing is not holding the flag so that it's draped away from the flagstaff. You're supposed to hold the flag at maybe a couple of inches or so just below the flagstaff. You're supposed to guide the flag material so that it doesn't bunch up or roll up this way or roll down that way. So we know that, if you furl a flag yourself, it'll just keep going and going and going, and it'll roll up all the way down the flagpole or the flagstaff. So what you're supposed to do is guide the flag material, not keep. What are you popping the material for? That makes no sense at all. And I'm not trying to pick on any individual here. It's just when you do something on at any time, there needs to be a reason. There's no reason to keep popping the material like that at all. So you guide the material. The staffs then lower, 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 lower until they're completely. No, those are spikes. I'll get to that in just a sec. Until the staff is completely horizontal, and then you finish rolling the flag staffs, and then you start taking care of your case, and then case the colors since they're furled. So right here, I don't know why flag companies do this. They package these staffs and these ornaments, these finials right here. These are not World War, but they're Civil War finials. They're spikes. I call them spikes. I forget if there's another name for them. But these are Civil War finials at Civil War era. Now, they used to be metal, and these are plastic, but none of that is authorized. So, and you can tell that because of the drawings in the colors section. You can tell it because of the pictures actually in the guide-on section. The guide-on bearer manual of arms is in the back of the TC, and it shows specifically a guide-on staff, and the guide-on staff is supposed to be used on colors. So anyway, let's keep going here. Popping that flag has absolutely no bearing on the flag material at all. And really, both of the flags should be rolled up. See, I got to point this out. See how all these wrinkles are here? That's because you're just needlessly popping, and it doesn't do anything. Keep your hands right there. That way you can pull out or pull this way or pull that way with both hands. You have complete control over the flag. But here, what you were doing, no control whatsoever. You're just giving the material a little extra air, and also making a lot of noise as well. So both of the staffs right now, and you can see the bend in here, and it's because of that silly middle screw joint there. It has those nails in it. They're not even screws, and the joint is actually made up of a very thin screw. I guess you'd say wall, because it's not a cylinder like a regular screw. It's actually hollow on the inside. So, and the threads are really tiny, and they can get stripped really easily. And obviously, I can't stand these flagpoles. Why did stepping back is not part of the protocol? Oh, that slap. Oh. I saw a little bit of lean forward there on the colors reverse command. Yeah, see how the team, especially the left guard. Come on, left guard. Back up here. Watch the lean forward. Lean, and everybody goes. All right, so you're in a cafeteria. That means there's no wind. There's not even ceiling fans. You can't blame it on anything like that. So you're leaning. You're trying to get that momentum. All right, so how do we get our momentum from standing still and taking that first step forward? We get it by pushing down with the right. Well, let me tell you, the training circular of the Marine Corps order both say imperceptibly shift all of your body weight onto the right foot and take a step with the left. I don't even bother with that, because it'll shift your center of balance over just slightly, but you don't need your center of balance shifted over to the right. You need your center of balance going forward. So what you're going to do is push down with the right heel, lift the left, and take that first step. That's how you get your momentum. That's how you move forward without leaning. So stop leaning. Yeah, actually, I thought I noticed this before. All right, it's on the right wheels, and it might be on the left wheel. I'm not exactly sure, but the guards, or at least the right rifle guard, isn't remaining in place. Now, on other videos that I've critiqued, the guard marches forward this tiny arc, or sometimes a larger arc, but they're moving forward just slightly sometimes, which then causes the rest of the team to make even bigger steps. Instead of doing this with the hinge point here for the guard, then the hinge point is actually moving forward with the team. And you definitely don't want that. You want the guard to stay in place. Well, the right rifle guard on this right wheel is actually moving backwards. Just slightly. Watch. It's moving backwards. Just a tiny bit. I mean, well, am I trying to split hairs? Well, yeah, actually I am. Because when it comes down to, does this color guard win or does that color guard win? Because or even the placements within the middle of the pack, judges are supposed to rank and rate. Ranking comes first, then the ratings. So ranking means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then the rating is the score. So as long as the ranking is there, the scores are secondary-ish. So the ranking means that is this color guard A and that color guard B. They're neck and neck the entire time. But if I look back at my notes here, I'm looking. Well, color guard B just went, and their guards were staying in place the entire time when they were making the wheels. But this, on this right wheel at least, and I won't go back through the whole video, but at least on this right wheel, this guard actually moved backwards just a little bit. Okay, so that might equate to a half a point off. It could be, or it could be 5 points off. But the meaning here is that when two color guards are neck and neck, yep, absolutely, splitting hairs is exactly what's going to happen. Making sure that absolute, just right here, the other color guard, when they were marching, nope, didn't have that pinky hanging down there. So they're neck and neck until the pinky, or until the right rifle guard was actually moving back slightly for the wheel. So it absolutely matters. Good arm swing too, by the way, guards. Except that backswing for the, and I'm pointing again with my finger, the backswing for the right rifle guard. Your backswing is maybe 3 inches or so, and here it for left guard it looked like you were around the 6-inch mark. But your backswing, right rifle guard, needs a little bit of work there. So, alrighty. Slamming. All right, don't do that. So lots of things to consider from my critique here, but also you're doing some good things there, and I really do appreciate the ability to, or the opportunity, sorry, to be able to give you a critique, to be able to give you some feedback that hopefully makes sense and comes across as a way to improve, and not just the nitpicky, well, you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong. It's not necessarily, some of the things, yep, they're wrong, they don't go with Army standards. Other things are, you might want to have a look at this, you might want to try that. So ultimately it's up to the team to make those muscle memory adjustments and even the visual memory adjustments, and then move on from there with those changes. And those changes can be rough sometimes, especially mid-year. But, you just keep practicing and see what you can do. Watches, I would suggest you go without them. And then look at the belt here, the belt angle. Maybe that belt should be tighter. Anyway, so that's my critique. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, and I hope my comments are helpful.